Hey guys, it's Kimberly. Long time no see. I haven't put myself in front of the camera very much, so I just wanted to say hi to everybody and see how your Mercury retrograde is going. If you're like me and many of the people in my life, I think it's wreaking havoc on lots of us. Typical Mercury retrograde stuff, delays, snafus, confusions, mix-ups. But another big aspect that's happening for the collective is just these snippets or flashbacks from past relationships, past memories. Could be early life memories, could be past life memories, could be past sort of baggage or past relationship memories, just kind of flashing back. You may even have people returning from your past. You may be thinking about people from your past. You might be wondering about people from your past. And this is going to be happening in this Mercury retrograde and Cancer energy. And because it's I'm a Cancer, and I'll tell you, I get very nostalgic a lot. So it's a constant mindfulness that I have to maintain to just, be in the present. So if you guys are struggling with being caught in the past or don't know how to transmute that energy, I'm going to help you in this reading and in this talk, okay? So some of you have been commenting, I don't know if it's transient people or what, but you're saying, would you just get to the reading, or I don't need all that useless information? And so what I would just say is please politely unsubscribe, because I'm never going to be just a reader. I'm a soul coach, I'm an intuitive, I channel, I'm a medium, and a lot of what I say at the beginning are the overarching themes that I've been channeling and downloading. So the cards are just to clarify and verify and sort of validate those messages. So if that's not your style, you can sort of move along. But if it is, then, I have resources and tools and information that I'd love to share with you. So, yes. So speaking of that, if anyone does want to work with me, book a session, coaching, intuitive readings, twin flame readings, I still have the offer for the $20 gift voucher. You guys can use it like a gift certificate on my website right through the end of June. So you don't have to book the session in June. You just have to book it by the end of June. And I'll put all that information in the description box below. There's also another code that you can use throughout July for a little discount on the sessions if you guys want to try a reading or any type of coaching to help you navigate through the root stuff, root issues, anything that you're dealing with that might be coming up from the past trauma, past baggage, anything that you want to clear and heal. That's what I do. So, all right. So when the stuff comes up for us, we're being called to look at it and examine it. So because everyone's facing a different level of things in different contexts, I think the prescription is going to be a little bit different depending on who you are, but I'm going to try to cover all the bases as I pull some cards, okay? So with the past life, early life stuff, so one thing I just want to remind you of is that I'm a past life regression therapist. I totally believe in past life regression. I think it's great. It's awesome. It provides another layer of our understanding of our root stuff. We bring past life karma forward that's not resolved. So if we didn't resolve it in the past life, we'll keep carrying it forward lifetime after lifetime till it is resolved, right? So it's not going to be the same context, it's not going to be the same traumas, but it's going to have the thread of karma. So it'll be a similar sort of feeling or type of karma. So for example, easy example I could probably give you is, say you were a woman in a past life or a female embodiment in a past life, and you were persecuted by man. Maybe you were a witch or something, and you were hanged, and it was a dramatic injustice, something like that. You might be born in this lifetime with a father who betrays you or who victimizes you. And see, that's it's not sort of, it is the same karma, it's just a slightly different context, okay? So you're carrying the same karma forward. So a lot of times we ask, why do we incarnate into these families? Why do we incarnate into dysfunction or into, why are these people, why do we choose these parental figures or authority figures, or why do we choose these abusive situations or dysfunctional situations? It's so that we can have that karma mirrored to us so that we can heal it. Many of you on this journey are doing that now. And so you're looking at the roots of everything, and you're you're asking, well, how has that shaped me today, and my beliefs and my decisions and my patterns, and how can I break free of some of those patterns? So when you get flashes of past life perspective, there can be for numerous reasons. One, it could just be calling you to do some form of regression, which is a great thing to do. You can do just regular old past life regression with a trained hypnotherapist, or you could do specialized regression like womb regression, for the very early life traumas or infancy traumas or womb trauma. You can do therapies like QHHT, which is an amazing past life and more type of hypnotherapy developed by Dolores Cannon. And I used it in my cancer healing. It's incredible. And so those are different ways that you can access the past lives. And if you're having past life flashbacks, past life memories, dreams about past lives, feelings about past lives, it might just be time to explore some of that. The other reason that sometimes that stuff flashes is because it's sometimes a foreshadowing that somebody from a past life, like karmically a new soul is coming in, and you're sort of remembering some of the karma from that lifetime to prepare for the re-entry of this soulmate, soul partner, karmic family, whatever that is, okay? So sometimes it's like a preparatory thing. It may also be alerting you to healing in geographic locations. So you might all of a sudden be like, oh, I'm having flashes of that lifetime when I was a medicine woman in the Inca civilization. And, really that's probably your call to shamanism in this life, or your call to visit those indigenous cultures in this life to do more of your healing, and maybe places that would connect some of the dots for you, right? So that's another reason why we get those flashes. It's like an awakening, it's an awareness, it's calling us to certain places, it's calling us to certain modalities. There's a familiarity. There could be a familiarity now that you never had before. Like you might say, well, I don't know, all of a sudden I'm really enthralled by all this Native American stuff, but I never really cared for it before. And see, that's that awakening that's happening within you, okay? That's that awareness that's happening within you. It's the remembrance coming through, and it's you returning back home to yourself, and back to your power, back to the healing of the karma, and so on and so forth. But other than healing irrational fears, like I'm a fear of spiders and I don't know why, like that sort of thing, the past life work, although I love it and I feel it's so important, it's not the starting point for most of our healing. The starting point I would recommend would be this life trauma, this life wounding. And the reason why is because everything that was unresolved was already carried forward. So looking to this lifetime, which is often skipped over, or not done like in the most thorough way, can actually provide a lot of answers. So you might ask yourself, if you're having past life flashes, like, does this relate anyway to this life's karma? Have I seen a pattern of betrayal? Have I seen a pattern of victimization? Do I have this ingrained fear about something that I've carried forward? And so ask yourself those questions. Now, how do we go to the shadow or the root? I get this question all the time. It's not something that it's like a one and done type of a deal. Like, oh, I went there. Yeah, I saw it. I know it. I got it. I hear it all the time. Like, I've been there. I got it. I already did my work. I worked with a therapist for 20 years. I did my shadow work that one time. Or some people say, I have no idea how to do shadow work. And really, you're missing it if that's the case. Because one, your soul is ready for the work at different times throughout your life. So even in your awakening journey, you may have done some shadow work 3 years ago or 2 years ago, but what you're ready for now as you evolve and awaken more, and as these energetic shifts carry you up the ascension ladder, would be way more. You'd be able to go way deeper or peel back another important layer now versus what you did 2 years ago, which was just kind of getting you ready for this. So don't stop doing your work. Always do your work. in a way, your work will never be done, right? But you will get to a point where you can peel back the layers, and if you go deep enough, you're going to reach a point where you can really integrate and align. So I feel like we are being called to look at those past memories, not just past life memories, but anything coming up from our childhoods. You could be having like random memories come up. I love that. To me, that's like gold as a soul coach, because think about how many millions and millions of memories you had or have acquired in your lifetime, right? Most of you watching this, you're at least in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. And so think about how many memories are stored up here, like consciously, subconsciously. And so if you have one that just sticks out or all of a sudden comes to mind, trust that there is a reason why. There's a reason why. There's something for you to look at, examine, connect, heal. It's not an easy thing to heal it all the way on our own. And the reason why is because our ego will block us. And also typically we don't have all the tools ourselves, right? So like the way I do soul coaching is I pair with you. I go in intuitively to the memories with you. Very rarely is hypnosis needed. Most memories are suppressed at best, or we work with the known memories, and we facilitate quite a thorough healing. It's not just going to hug your inner child. Believe me, if that worked, I think we'd all be healed like that. But it's not. It's much more complex than that. It's about owning your pain. It's about clearing everything that you need to say and express. It's about confronting. It's about assigning accountability. And then the forgiveness comes, and then the alignment comes, and then the understanding comes, and then all of the ability to integrate will come. But the most skipped step that I see in healing our past stuff is just the inability to sit with our experience and own it and give ourselves permission to own it fully and to assign accountability. Assigning accountability in your process of owning your pain has nothing to do with being a victim. It is actually a necessary step in the healing of any trauma. And because what it is it's a self-validation of the recognition of the breadth of your experience and the breadth of your pain. And so what we're trained to do as humans and in our societies is to stuff it down, to get over it, to rush to forgive. And in that, no true healing can really happen. So it's this full understanding, full validation, full self-compassion for the breadth of your experience. So if you have some of those tidbits of memories surfacing during this Mercury retrograde, I would say they're gold. They're like golden nuggets. Go into them, right? Just definitely go into them. You may not need to work with a shaman, a healer, a soul coach, or whatever, There's so many ways to do soul retrieval and to do this healing. And I don't think there's any magic recipe, but what I found is like doing the conscious work, like where you excavate the subconscious stuff and you really heal around and own the pain while you're in tandem doing like energy work and maybe shamanic work. That type of stuff is a great complement to the awareness and the illumination and the excavation and the owning of the pain. And then you can segue naturally into forgiveness, into understanding the soul contracts and the why you chose this and the why this happened to you in this life. And then you can naturally segue into the alignment and the integration, right, of practicing the new you, of learning those tools to become fully connected to your divinity, to become fully yourself, not just that fragmented piece that left yourself during your wounding. Yeah. So anyhow, if this is Greek to any of you, reach out to me. I can probably assist you. If you guys are needing tools or whatever, I'm here. I have online courses, I've got coaching and all that stuff. But for those of you who are sort of navigating it on your own for now, or you're not sure quite what to do with it, I'm going to give you some guidance through the cards today. And we'll look at what this all means for the present energies, because it's certainly coming up, I feel like, as a purification. I don't know if you guys saw the newsletter that I wrote. I posted it on YouTube in the community tab, and I posted it on Facebook, or maybe you got it in your inbox. But I was seeing that this early July, from now till mid-July, is basically, this is what we're going to be doing, like a big emotional healing. You might be like, oh, I've already done that. We've already done that. Aren't we done purging? But I really feel like this is a preparatory one that, like, a lot of karma gets resolved, a lot of stuff gets illuminated. This is like final tweaks. This is big pieces and blocks moved out of the way. And the reason why is to get you ready to shift into that new paradigm. And I've been seeing like this big grand archway from like mid-July to mid-August, that being the portal to the new dimensional frequency. This means we've been going through it gradually, but I feel like we'll be coming through it and readying for it. And many of you are clearing these blocks so you can step through more on your purpose, more on your passion, and as pioneers of this new density. Is it heavy right now? Yes. Is it up and down right now, the energy? Yes. Is it challenging? Yes. Are there delays in typical Mercury retrograde stuff? Yes. So you need to ride that. You need to rest when you need to rest, and you need to allow yourself the space to heal. You need to allow yourself the space to purge when you feel the surge of energy. Allow yourself to be energized, and when you need to rest, allow yourself to rest. Okay, don't beat up on yourself. These are huge energy shifts. We've got eclipse season, we've got Mercury retrograde, we've got these portals, we've got this whole awakening and dimensional upgrade that we're going through. It's a lot, okay? It's a lot. So connect with your tribe, connect with your people so that you can relate to one another during these shifts, okay? It's not about like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm so tired too. Oh, this sucks. Let's try to pull up above that. Let's say, oh, you need to rest, right? Take care of yourself, self-care. It's going to get better. We're going to go up on an upswing energetically. You wait till the end of July, and as we come into August, there's going to be a lot of solar energy, like a rocket, just surging us forward, pushing us into the new dimension. Lots of action, a lot of on point on our missions, like things that were unclear pre-pandemic. Well, I've been saying this for a while, but pre-quarantine will be clear for you. Things that are unclear or confusing right now will get cleared up for you. You will have the clarity on your path come August. I'm pretty positive this goes for most of you in these collective shifts that are awakening and on this twin flame path and all of that. So hold on if you feel these low points or this exhaustion, or need to do some more healing, because you are readying for quite an amazing, I think, the remainder of 2020, and as we go into 2021, no matter what happens, whether there's another pandemic outbreak, whatever it is, you are readying, you're preparing to be here in a new way, and in a way that's much more on purpose. And a lot of this has to do with collaboration, soul tribe, coming into your gifts all the way. And yeah, so I've decided that I'm going to start a portion of my website that will be housed as a school. I'm going to translate or readapt my tarot courses to online courses. And my priestess program will be ongoing every 6-8 weeks. I'll have that going throughout the year, so stay tuned for that. You can pre-register for the online tarot course too if you want to do that now. It'll be available July 11th. All right, so let's look at the cards and see what the messages are. So I'm not going to pull for Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. This is just overall collective messages for the energy shifts right now on the planet. So we have Treasure Island. I feel like that's no mistake, especially when we're talking about the 9. The 9 is, to me, representative of September. It's been something, if you've been watching my channel readings or my Sunday morning masters, I keep referring to this September being when the new job comes in, or the new path, or the move, or the really, a lot of the treasure of what we've been healing and cultivating starts to come in. I also feel like we will be free to travel more at this time, and we may start traveling more in September. And I see some of you guys taking trips. Some might be near the ocean. Some of you might be just like taking trips to, like I said, more indigenous lands or places to touch in with that part of yourself, right? So that feels very on point to me. I've also been, I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing turtles everywhere, and sea turtles, land turtles, and this is that beautiful sea turtle there, who is swift, by the way. Sea turtles are swift, very fast, and this means that things are moving along come September, okay? Okay, let's see what else they say about the energies through this deck. So they're saying, to be fair, and all that glitters is coming out. This is really a lot of the ego masking, or any place where we've been like covering up the true part of ourselves. It could be just the bullshit we're telling ourselves, the level of denial that we're in. And I feel like really we are taking off those masks, or the remainder of those masks, so that we can fully express ourselves, fully shine. That's what this solstice energy was about. It's about like shining brighter and pulling in the sun so we can shine and step into our authenticity. This to be fair feels like, you know, karma that needs to be tied up, and this could be karma too that's kept you in inauthentic patterns, or stuck in your ego, or attached to things in a fear-based way. So you know, this is about really allowing yourself to go into unresolved situations, deciding, am I going to let this go and allow the universe to balance it out? Is there something that I need to do within myself, my own healing, to get into authentic alignment, to let the ego go, to let that go, to let any animosity, resentment go in situations that maybe played out unfairly for me? What do I need to do to balance the karma? What do I need not to do? How can I take my hands off and just allow things to balance and step into my own light? You know, what's blocking me karmically from my light? Yeah, okay. And this could be, for some of you, I feel like, could be potential like legal situations that you're waiting on answers for, or that you're contemplating taking action towards. It could be certain situations in which you felt like you were unfairly judged or treated. But I really feel like the decision is just stepping into your authenticity and shining on your brightest path. It's almost like whatever that legal thing was going to be, whatever you were going to sue for, it'll come back to you like threefold once, in a good way, like, you know, whether it's monetary or whatever it is, like it'll come back to you threefold once you are ignited along your true path. So if that helps anyone, if you're struggling with anything karmically that you're like, it's eating at you, or you're like, oh, I really need to do this, or I really need to seek justice, or I really need to, they're saying that sometimes the best way to do that is to just go further into yourself and be more of who you are, and allow your life to go up a notch, and the karma will heal and resolve itself. So that's the message I'm getting around that. Let's look into this, is what I call the past life, or even we see a lot, or I see a lot of early life stuff that we bring in this deck. So let's see what's going on here. So phobias, so to me, phobias are different than fear. Like fear is anything that's not love, right? And phobias are included under that umbrella. But phobias can also be like irrational fears, kind of what I mentioned earlier on, like fear of flying, or fear of spiders, or fear of snakes. And like we are being asked to find fear of fire. Maybe there's some sort of irrational fear that you don't know where it comes from. we may be prompted to heal those fears now, right? Recently I had this awareness that one of my fears is around frogs. It's really weird, but the frogs have been coming into my awareness, and I thought to myself, what's like my worst fear? It would be like to be like covered in frogs, or like in a lake with frogs. I don't know why, it freaks me out. So that might be something I need to examine, like what happened maybe in past lives with frogs, or as a child with frogs, right? So like this could be something as simple or as seemingly silly as that, or it could be something that really stops you in your life, like a fear of flying, like I said, or something that holds you back that I feel like we're supposed to overcome now. We're going through the phobias, through the fears to understand them. Could be fire. It could be phobias that have kept us out of alignment in our physical body, where we feel like we can't breathe in certain situations or around certain things. They're asking you to, like, where are you holding the fear or the phobias in your physical being? How can you heal this? How can you discover the root of these phobias and fears? Let's see what else at the root of things. So our love lives are coming up to be healed. This is for sure, like 1000%. I have been getting this. I've been feeling it. So much so. It's unbelievable what is going to happen over the next few months in terms of like twin flames, having communication, having connections come together. So you're going to figure out who's who and what's what. You're also healing the blocks around your own heart. The roses have been a theme. I said this a couple readings ago. It was coming up around the divine masculine. The red roses, or the roses, were a theme in my last priestess course in the spring. And it's just, the roses are really coming up for us. It's about that heart-centered love. It's about blooming and opening to that. It's about our passions. Whenever we see the red rose on the tarot decks, that's really connected to our blood, our life force, our passion, as well as love. And I feel like our love lives are getting a major healing. We're looking at life and we're saying, what do we truly want and what do we want to line up with? I think a lot of us are going to be aligning with our, if you haven't already, your true life partner, soul partnership by the end of this year. Many people will be. And that may be not the way you see it. You might see someone or perceive someone as a twin flame, and then you have a different sort of divine partner coming in, or it might be a healing with a twin flame who shows up in a new way and it gets healed. But a lot of the work, or all of the work, is independent of these connections. It's really you. It's about what you're ready for. How in alignment are you? How ready are you to open up to love? And that's all dependent on your balanced feminine and or masculine energy. So when we clear the fear within ourselves, we're able to express in a fuller way, in our full authenticity, without those masks, without defensiveness, without false masculine expression or any form of subdued or held back feminine expression. We're able to speak our truth, be in alignment with our boundaries, and ask for what we deserve, line up with it, walk in our integrity, walk in our truth. And that's how this is all healing. So it's really the stuff that you do within yourself that's healing all these both karmic situations and these soulmate, twin flame connections. Many of you, like I've been saying for like a year now, are going to have marriage proposals, like literal 3D marriage proposals, sort of planning. I don't know if it's like 3D weddings or if it's just like sacred partnership type commitment ceremonies. You'll be planning that in early 2021. Like, trust me when I say there's a lot of people that are about to come together. So as much as we might see some, divorce statistics coming out of, the quarantine and whatnot, that's just so that people who were already on the trajectory of not being in alignment with their karmic partner could really see that truth, right? And so it's really helping everyone get into their truth. And then it'll help the extrication, right? So many people are still extricating, especially the divine masculine. I keep hearing, seeing, feeling from karmic marriages, and still they're in the process of that. And so that's going to free the divine masculine as he navigates that truth as we come out of quarantine more and more, to make some decisions in his life. And so this will send beloveds together, and you'll have meetings where you meet your true beloved partner, or you'll reunite. And there's a lot of massive healing going on in our love lives. Don't forget, it all stems from you. How ready are you? How ready are you to receive, to give and express and love and just be love? How aligned are you with your worth? Where have you made those mistakes in the past? Where have you been not in alignment with that stuff, right? So stuff to look at, stuff to think about. And lastly, from this deck, we have two. So we have farm and reversed, and spirituality and religion. So whenever I see the farm, to me, it's always the marriage contract, because what was marriage originally? It was a land contract, okay? This could be many things for many people, but I do feel like this is about the idea or notion of marriage transforming in a new way. We're emerging with a new idea of what marriage is, and it's not some bullshit idea that we're like, marriage is an institution or marriage is a transactional type oath. We're looking at it becoming a more sacred oath, a more sacred bond, a more sacred union. And it's you all who are going to uplift that notion and uplift that idea. So this could be related to that. This could also be related to healing, in which maybe you had past lives in which your marriage contract was very much about the land or the farm or the land, and so on and so forth. The other time I see farm appear, like when I coach my clients, is when our ancestors, or maybe we've spent lifetimes, or it could be like our ancestors like grew up in a very chore-laden environment. Maybe they grew up on a farm, or you grew up on a farm, or your grandfather grew up on a farm, and there was a lot of chores or responsibility. And a lot of times when there's a lot of rigidity or responsibility, it sends the bloodline, or sends that person, and then trickles down the bloodline into a shutdown of the emotions, or a feeling of not being free. So there's this feeling of, I'm tied to the land, I'm tied to responsibility, I have others to take care of, I have others to worry about. I'm deprived of my own childhood, or I'm deprived of my own freedom. So this is a lot around, for some of you, around freedom, finding the freedom like through your bloodline. It could be also around just emotional expression. Maybe you had like, I don't know, I keep seeing like a masculine figure for some of you that was tied to a farm, or tied to some land, or tied to some responsibility. So maybe you had a grandfather or father who that was his plight. And so, you know, look at that and say, how did that affect me? Was that something where he was open emotionally? Did he ingrain these chores and these responsibilities into my being, right? So like, I hear this a lot, so I'm just giving you guys some common things that I hear that this could possibly be. And then with spirituality and religion, and this could all go hand in hand too, because it's basically about how things used to be, like land contracts, and or we tied to the land. Now we're very, very mobile. What did religion, what was religion previously, right? It was something that was housed. It was something that kept us into a particular paradigm or school of thought. And with spirituality, we're broadening that. We're broadening how we view marriage. We're broadening how we view religion. And many of you grew up with parents, grandparents, or in, your own childhoods, where there was a lot of religious constraint, conservatism, religious beliefs that may conflict with some of your spiritual beliefs that are still deeply ingrained in you. So to me, this feels like a lot of ancestral healing, stuff that you might be working through from things that were ingrained in you, so that you can step more into your freedom, your truth, your emotionality, your spirituality. And, you know, this feels to me a lot around freedom, free will, freedom to decide what you believe and who you marry and who you spend your life with, and because it brings you to happiness and because you believe in the connectedness of all, not because it's told that that's what you should do or this is how things are, right? So this feels very ancestral to me. Let's go to the Sonia Choquette. This is your Ask Your Guides deck. So this is going to be more about like your personal blocks, your like what's calling to you from your higher self or from your guide team, your spirit guide team. All right, and we saw this come up in a recent reading that I did. It's the divine helpers with appreciation, and it is in reverse. So there's something, they're seeing that although things may not look like they're all aligning right now, the more gratitude you have and the more you trust that there are divine helpers assisting you right now, and there are, the more those things can come into being and fall into place. I keep getting this in all my readings. I've just been seeing this, the helping hands from above, and then the stars aligning and the stars aligning and things aligning. And it's like things will fall into place. And, you know, the best thing we can do when we're in these lows and we don't know where to go is just go into gratitude and go into what you are thankful for in all of these situations that we've been put into, whatever the context is for you, through the quarantine, through the pandemic, through your healing, whatever your situation is right now. They're saying get grateful and have the appreciation. Also rely on the helpers, your spirit team, your angels, your protectors, the higher beings, where there's a lot of higher assistance for us right now to help us go through this frequency shift. And so reach up for it is the reminder. Let's see what else. Okay. Also in reverse, we have Aphrodite, life force. And what did I say about the roses? I said that often represents life force, energy. This is about connecting into our heart chakra. This is saying if you do feel low energy, if you do feel stagnant, if you do feel stuck, go into the things that make you tick, the passions, the stuff in your heart. Maybe the stuff that you weren't allowed to express because it wasn't allowed in your family, your religion, your community, your society. Now's the time to go into those forms of expression, your art, your writing, your painting, your helping others, your whatever that is. They're saying get in touch with your heart center and allow yourself to go into the passions, because that's what's going to expand your aura, your auric field, and it's going to increase your life force energy. Okay, I know from my Cancer journey that even when I had zero energy and literally like no red blood cells in my body, I still had an crazy amount of life force energy, and nobody could believe it, because it's living proof that life force energy is not from your blood. It is something so much bigger than that. Okay, it's about your energy, it's about your passion, and it's about your will to live and what makes you feel alive. So connect with those things. Okay, one more card from this deck. So it's in reverse. I just flipped it. So it's leadership, and it's the Holy Spirit coming up saying leadership. What did I say? We're climbing the ascension ladder. Look at this card upright. We're climbing the ascension ladder. There's the dove leading us up to the higher dimensions, the higher realms, up towards the heavenly light. We are the pioneers. You are, I am. We all are. You guys are. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't a pioneer of some sort. You don't need to be doing this is maybe to help you with this notion of leadership. You don't necessarily need to be doing some grandiose thing to be leading or pioneering during these shifts. You could simply be just holding the light for others by being you, by being in alignment and sharing that light, and that's enough, because that's enough that you're pulling others up with you, right? Others of you might be motivated to teach, to help, to heal, to step forward in the collective a little more, right? A little bit more prominently. That's great too. But this is about, don't hesitate, don't wait, don't feel like you're not doing anything. You're doing something just by being in alignment and being positive, raising your vibration, connecting into your life force energy, connecting into your gifts, your almighty, powerful, divine gifts. So remember that. And I'm going to pull a couple of the moon cards just to kind of see where we're at after this new moon solar eclipse and before the next full moon eclipse, which is July 5th, I believe, July 4th and 5th, July 4th. So we're kind of sandwiched in between eclipses right now. We got a whole lot going on cosmically. Let's see what these cards say. Cancer, the nurturer. This is just reminding us to really nurture ourselves during this time. We're in that Cancerian new moon energy, Mercury retrograde in Cancer. This is like nurture yourself. Do your healing. Give yourself what you need. Rest when you need to rest. Honor your deep emotional sensitivity like you never have before. Share it with others. Connect with others for that. Okay? Maybe they can shed some light on Mercury retrograde for us. So we have Capricorn and Achieve. So Achieve is coming up as the first quarter. I'm sorry, it's Ignite and Capricorn, the Achiever, sorry. The Ignite card is an 11. Okay, I feel like, again, this is ignite your passions, ignite. This could be very tied to the Leo energy too, right? Things really igniting as we go into August, as we go into that. This could just be about igniting with your life force energy, going into your passions, that type of stuff. This coming up with Capricorn, the Achiever. This is about igniting what you want to do. Again, I feel like we're not looking at goals the same way that we were. We're not moving through manifestation the same way that we were. This idea of achievement is very rooted in the process of enjoyment. It's very rooted in the process of helping. It's very rooted in the process of letting things come and receiving. And it's not just this, I want to go out and I want to get it done. And that's being transformed for sure. And we're going to see more of this as we ignite our passions and define the new goals and the new paths for ourselves. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with that. And I love you guys. I hope that was helpful. And I will see you soon. All right? Take care. Mwah. Bye.